All you kids want to do is play. You never want to work, never want to take care of any responsibilities.
Green, blue. Whew. Winter is here.
Brr, man. I got socks on. I got this top. I got a t-shirt. Oh, I only have 2 layers on. That's not. I could put a sweatshirt on and be okay. The heater's about to kick on though, then it'll get hot. See, that's the thing that trips me out. It's energy that my body is responding to. It's not temperature, because it's only 36 degrees. It's not like super, super cold. It's not like it's single digits.
Nice.
You know? It says it's 30 degrees. Feels like it's 36. We're supposed to get snow overnight, but we were supposed to Monday, Tuesday for like 24 hours, and we didn't get nothing. So, you know, that's how you know what I look at get an idea of what the temperature is gonna be. You know, and but you know, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters, you look out the window. If it's snowing, then wear a coat. You know. Hi, Stanley. Where'd you come from? I had to put that container next to his bowl because he thought it was a fun game. He plays with the water dish, and he thought it was a fun game and kept knocking it off.
Aww.
See, look at him. See him?
He's playing.
Yep. Anyway. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Health empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I don't even know what to say. California is getting plummeted by rain. I always get sad when not sad. It's not even sad. It's more melancholic, right? Like, okay, the earth is changing. It shifts every day. It's changed every day. But I found there's points and periods of time where you just got all of these shifts and changes that are happening. Yeah, all over. You know, it's not just like, you know, oh, shift here, shift here. It's like we're having a collective shift, and there's a bunch of piers that got washed away in Santa Cruz. And so now what I saw in Santa Cruz, when last time, it's been years, it's been decades since I've been there, but we had fun when we went there. We went and met that Brian guy, and we went and had breakfast in a covered bridge in Felton. And he took us. He had his own airplane. He did prosthetics. He was a prosthetic doctor. He had a practice there in Santa Cruz, and then he had a partner up in Redding. And that's how I knew him, is because he dated the receptionist, who was my friend I went to high school with, mom. That's how I met. Anyway, so he invited us down, and he took us flying, and I'll never forget it, because we were coming back. We had to come back in because the fog was rolling in. It was coming in. He's like, wow. And he's like, yeah, we got to get back. This is it's coming in quick, right? It is rolling in fast. And it was so reminiscent, because this was right around the same time that that movie The Lost Boys came out. And there's a part where they're flying through the fog, and it supposedly took place in Santa Cruz, and it was kind of trippy how it all lined up. Anyway, I was a lot of weather in California, they're getting rain for days, and then there's like a break, and then they're gonna get rain for days. And there's a lot of damage, a lot of downed trees, a lot of people without powers, because the ground gets so saturated that the trees can't stand up. They can't hold themselves up, and they fall over and hit, and people don't take care. You know, they don't take care. They don't go, okay, well, there's a potential threat right there. Let's trim those. They don't do that. They just, the whole world is designed that somebody else is going to take care of the problem. But people are figuring out real quick that there ain't no somebody else out there. And all these resources and all these taxes that they've been collecting and all this money they've been siphoning from people for decades is just going to their own pensions and their own personal agendas. I saw that I did it in a talk the other day. I was talking about a young woman who posted that her grandpa had big cojones. And she spelled it out. I'm like, how would you spell cojones? Anyway, no, ma. Anyway, some kid tried to carjack him. And he drove off, but the kid had a gun, broke out the window. And they called the police, and they're like, there's no crime. Kind of thing, you know? And then what happened evidently today is there was a shooting at the home of an elected leader, and now it's a big deal. Now people are showing up, they're doing news conferences, you know, it's a big deal. But if it's just regular people, see, and that's what I said, that's the comment I made. I said they care when it's a club member, you know. See, it's like, why do they designate that some people are worth their damn and all the rest aren't? That is what is so bizarre to me. I got my new headphones today, and I don't think I like them. No. And I'll show you why. I got to go into town and see my buddy Augustine. I hadn't seen him. And we always get so excited. He's always like, oh yeah, I missed you. We went to the water house and I got water and it just, I don't know, we're buddies. So these are my old ones, and these are the ones that I love. They're by that company, Bose. I used to have a pair of the midnight blue ones and somebody stole them. Anyway, but what happens is I wear them like this a lot. I wear one over my right ear, and then I wear it behind my left ear so that I can hear the ambient around, my ambient environment. And let's see, am I connected? Look at my Bluetooth list. No, I don't want to lose my... But, so, and then sometimes Mom will be watching TV and I'll listen over here and it'll get... Anyway, I'll show you what happened to it. So this is what happened. Oh, that link. My buddy tried to share that link that I shared in the chat. He tried to share it and wouldn't let him. So I thought it was so cool. I went ahead and share it. So we got this part, and then boop. There's the speaker. I'm still gonna use them. I'll probably still use them better. But this is, and then this is why I don't like the new ones, is because they're so big. These are small. Goes over my little ear. These are ginormous, and I hate them. Buyer's remorse, Mom. Buyer's remorse, or whatever. So I'll put these back on. Is it gonna connect? Oh! Name that tune. It connected. It's Crazy Bone, Riding Dirty. I used to I'm so ignorant. My friend, I used to say, what does that, what does that mean? Does that mean he doesn't have insurance? They're like, girl. Oh no. Lordy. Anyway. Little 3-year-old kids calling each other basehead. base head. Your mama's a base head. I'll never remember that. I'll never forget that. Little, right now. Your mama's a base head. With the head bob and stuff like that. It cracks me up, man. Anyway. So I called today's talk, what did I call it? Something in the trapped stage door. Stage door trap. Why did I call it? Wait a minute. A trapped stage door. Stage door. Because all the world's a stage, but people are figuring out that all the world is a stage. And that smoke and the mirrors and the curtains falling. I can't believe that nonsense. I can't believe how much people just buy into stuff. You know it? It's like I talk about God all the time and people look at me like I'm a freaking clown from, clowns about, like, it's not embraced, but some guy is makes millions of dollars, playing a child's game, falls down on the field, and then all of a sudden it's just all ritual. It is just so contrived. Society is so contrived. I just imagine all the time what it could be if it was organically uncontrived. Like if people weren't put in places of power because they're a character in a play. You know it? And that's what all politicians are. They're characters. They're no different than these people that have been paid, millions and millions of dollars to get people to believe in a story that people are like, oh, it's not real. But oftentimes, how many times are these stories that are based on movies and television? There's these storylines are accurate and true, and then these nefarious freaking scoundrels use the media and TV and the new or TV and movies as a defense counsel that they're not doing that. That stuff only happens in the movies. Oh, okay. Stop looking. I mean, it's retarded. I was cracking up. I saw a couple of articles today about how they planned the whole thing. See, they set up the whole thing. They had the state troopers pull them over twice in 15. It was all planned. That's all. They're criminal masterminds. These agents. 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Donut riddled. Ask their kids. You want to know how rad freaking the police are? Ask their children. Anyway. Who's that? Luna? Is that my girl? Wait, that's Benny. Benny! Get over there. Come over here and say hi. Come on, Benno. Some folks want to say hi to Benno. Come here, Benno. Beanie, 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 big face Beanie. You're so cute, Beanie. Beanie's a good boy. He's a Margie, and he's smart and funny too. Margie, cracking up, Benno, Margie. Good boy. Can I have a kiss? He said no. I'm not in the mood. I'm just a good man, Benno. Yeah, I don't know what I don't think people realize what it's taken to keep my family together. It's taken a lot of my life force energy and a lot of God, huh, Ma? A lot of God. Hasn't been easy. It's always been worth it. And then Benny, he likes to sit right there. Well, it's all of them like to sit there. Even Artie. Benny. Big Fizz of Beanie said, Margie, no paparazzi, Margie. It's rude to Beanie. He's not in a mood. So I did get to go in town and see my buddy today, and I told him, I showed him pictures of like my stone carving tools I got for the holidays and stuff, and my apron, and his face lit up, and I said, and then I got like a 20-pound block of alabaster crystal to carve, and his like eyes lit up. He looked at me, and his eyes lit up, and he's like, before you work on that piece, he's like, I'll give you some other pieces. He's like, before you put something on that, he said, I'll give you something out, like some more stuff to practice on. I found this the other day. That's little me right there. I've been a clown since I was born, man. I've always been a clown. I look like I was traumatized. I don't know. I'm kind of getting the feeling I had all this hope in my heart. You know, I always have hope. That's why it's like I don't know. Some people in your life, I've had a hard time letting people go. Like, you know, like leaving the relationship in the past because they're so significant. I want to keep knowing people, right? Unfortunately, people don't want to keep knowing me. I get it. So, you know, I've been estranged for a while with me and my, you know, we had a falling out. I talked about it here with my brother and had a conversation on your birthday, Ma, 28th of November, and it was a nice conversation, and I was like, oh my God, maybe things are going to turn around, you know? And then it's like my last two texts, 3 texts, they just go unanswered. I'm back to being ignored again. And it's like, okay, I tried, but we're back to here again, you know? And it's like, I get why people are a hermit. My circle is so small, it's a dot. You know it? I mean, I'm closer with people that I don't even know than I am with that I've known I've known people that I've known like for 30 years. It's just people are growing up and then they're evolving and then they're transitioning and they're just going off on all these weird different directions, you know? A lot of stuff people are into, I'm just not into. And there's no future in this stuff. There's no future in sports. There's no future in politics. There's no future in these things that aren't going to create tangible futures because things are about to get very difficult for a lot of people. I'm really surprised nobody was hurt with all the weather that they've had in California, thank goodness. Yeah. They were attributing it to all the wonderful firemen that work out there. And I'm like, no, I think it's the resilience of the human spirit. I think the human spirit is so resilient it wants to strive. You know, it doesn't want to just sit there and do the same thing over and over. We're the only beings on this planet, human beings. Well, I don't know. There's so many questionable other species and races and stuff like that of entities that we share space with on this planet. There's only so many, but animals can't think, you know what, I want a place to live, so I have to go down to to go either get the building materials or talk to somebody that can sell me. Dogs don't do that. Animals don't do that. Human beings do that. We're the ones that have the ability to create things. That's why people are constantly saying we can create heaven on earth. I have so many ideas that more people can benefit from. You know, not just the higher echelon. All that stuff has to die away. But first, I don't know what, are people just going to all of a sudden be like, you know what? I can't do it. You know, people in Congress, are they really good? Are they going to It's like, you know what? I got plenty of money already. We don't need. They work barely half a year, and they're up to $212,000 a year. And all they do is they write their demands on a piece of paper, and they put them on the table, and then they push it across the table, and the other party picks it up, and they're like, nope. And they write, and that's all that Congress does, and they're just constantly and nothing ever fucking gets done. And then we got shit like 40 years later that they talked about when I was a little girl, the rover, and then like as soon as the planets line up in the sky, then it's like boom, cue human rights issues. You cannot get an abortion. We declare so. It's just so trite. Society is just puppets on a planetary string, you know? And everybody has free will, and look at what the world's become with all the free will running rapid, with all the stuff people can do. Where I live, you got a bunch of freaking meathead freaking... And that's not... I'm not talking about just dudes, because there's women meatheads too. You got all these people with their freaking, 2,500... size motor trucks and their freaking trailers on the back, and they're camping out in the wilderness and just living the best version. And it's like, what do you ever fucking do for, if people just helped a little bit, things would change so immensely on this planet, but they just can't get past themselves and all the precious things that they deserve to buy because, they did that one thing that one time. Luna! Go ahead, Benny. It's okay. She was sleeping, and then Benny annoys her. You know? Society's just resting on its laurels, you know? It's like the United States is just sitting on the glory days of that one play that it did back in high school, back in the glory days, and it's like riding and sustaining into the future on that, and the foundation is crumbling in a very big way, and we all get to watch. We all get to witness this. Everybody on this planet. Well, I think about there's more people on this planet that don't have any of this. They don't have any social media. They don't have cell phones. They don't have newspapers. Hell, where I live, there's only one newspaper a week. Everybody's living different timelines already. It just depends on where you live. Progression is a timeline. Accessibility is a timeline. Either you're supposed to get stuff or not. Anyway, but what do I know? So... California's getting pummeled. My buddy Saul is holding up. He made a sauna and took a sauna today in a rainstorm. I think that's pretty badass. He made a tent with like a teepee, and then he put a freaking one of those propane, and he's not a dumb guy. He's not going to do something stupid, blow himself up or nothing like that. And it's I mean, he had it ventilated. You can see on the picture, it's ventilated and stuff. So, yeah, he has a page too, but he can't really post to stuff on Facebook, so he just does it on his, and I guess, here it is. Gotta say, taking a sauna in a howling winter storm is effing amazing. Here it is. Here's a picture. Bathhouse sauna. Proof of concept. Best I could do in a howling storm. I'll be using hot rocks as a heat source, but propane heater made it uncomfortably warm in just a minute. Visit Raven's Eyrie Inn for unique post-apocalyptic day spa experience. And then so here's the heater buddy. There's the heater buddy on the propane, and then here's his pyramid of here we go. His pyramid. At this. Yeah. He's a pretty resourceful guy. You know? That's why I don't understand, because like people can do so much with next to nothing. I don't, and I see the ridiculousness that they do with so much, you know? It's like you have these kids, you have these people that their mommies and daddies, they just their children are a reflection of them. So their children have to succeed, because if their children don't succeed, then the parents failed. Whatever, right? So succeed, and then they push their kids to succeed, and then, okay, this is what you're going to do, right? Or what do you want to do, and whatever. Whatever. It depends on the helper, the hinderer spirit parent of the parent that what you have, and mine were not the helpers. I used to come up with solutions. I hate it. And I thought my kind of contrarian was bad, but there's worse kind of contrarians. And I would come up with solutions all the time for Mom, and she would just always find the reason why they wouldn't work. And I just get so mad. Anyway, I don't like this song. Oh, I was starting to talk about how we're the ones that can create heaven. Oh, so you have all okay, my point is, I'm not going to even lead up to it. My point is who lets these people design these cities and these buildings, these developers? They call themselves these things, the designs, they're just ridiculous. And they think that people are going to freaking like rent these office spaces and stuff like that. They're just really expensive storage units. You know what I mean? It's like, what people think that like the world is like gonna go back to like it was in 2018, 2019. You know it? And that's the thing, is because so many people like things better when they were back like that. So that's how so many people get stuck in the past, is they just, keep living their lives like they did back in the past when times were more comfortable for them. And that's not what being a human being is. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. Gypsy Joe the Gypsy, I dig that guy. I'll probably end up listening to a bunch of talks of his for the rest of the night. I just dig him, and his channel's like blown up in a very short time. I'm happy for him. And he was talking about that and he talks a lot about the same stuff that I do. Anyway, but he says different words, the same stuff that I say. You don't get to grow in this life without being uncomfortable. It doesn't happen. You don't get to like if life were a video game, you don't get to advance in levels just doing whatever you want and just never being uncomfortable and having other people solve your problems and nothing scary ever happening and all that stuff. No. It'll come in later in lives. It'll come. But a lot of these ESP, extrasensory perception, like intuitive tools that I have, I largely contribute to having the abilities that I have because of so much of the trauma that I've had in my life. And I would, in a heartbeat, trade a life without all that freaking crap for all the abilities. I still got it. I try it every now and again because I do it for me, and then I'll say like, here, Ma, hold your hand out, and I'll do my lighter trick. Yeah, I still got it. I literally have the ability to telekinesis. I've never met another human being on this planet that can. And I do it all. It's like a parlor trick. I just do it for like, hey, you want to see my lighter trick? I do it but sometimes I think I'm gonna lose the ability, so I hadn't tried it in a while, so I was like, and then when I do it for people, what I do, I'll just show you. I don't know if I have a lighter around here. That's what the trick is I learned it on a YouTube video. I watched a kid do it with a coconut, and I was like, it's the fluid inside. That's what his energy field is cooperating with. So I have mom, I have her hold out her hand like this, or whoever hold out their hand like this. Right? And then I can get it to go back and forth, and I knock it off people's hands. But what happens is people they'll start moving their hand to keep me from knocking it off. And that's what mom was doing today. Is she kept moving her hand, and I was, oh shit, fuck. I hit my thing. It was gonna go anyway. But and she kept moving her hand like this, and I was like, no, you're not. And then I got frustrated, and I was just like, I'll find another one I'll find someone else to do it with. You're not doing it right. And she's just like, whatever. She's just, oh my God. Nobody's better suited to be my mom than my mom, Loretta Sue. Huh, Ma? Isn't that right?
That's right.
Because nobody can ignore me like you. She's been ignoring me my whole life. I could imagine me being a little kid and her being like, oh my God, I forgot. I got these I found mine. They're St. Anthony. They're just these little tokens. But Mom, I remember we like got them in Sonora or Solvang or someplace like that. They had these little trinkets, and I got one, you got one, and Jerry got one. Right?
Okay.
And I had this one. I got this one in Oregon. I found the other two earlier today.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Good.
So I look at that stuff as like our family heirloom.
That's right.
You know, this stuff. Anyway. I feel like I've been talking for a while, so. I don't know. All the astrologers keep talking about the spiritual awakening. I'm like, everybody always has a chance, you know. That's why, I don't know. That's why I think that's one of my purposes. I have several purposes in this life. One of my purposes is to show people that you can act autonomously. You know, you can do the right thing. You know? And then I'll be obnoxious about it too. Right? Just so people remember. Just so I make an impression. So maybe, you know, like if there's garbage on the floor and there's like 8 people around, I'll be like, no, I got it. Then I'll pick it up and I'll be like, as you were. You know? So, like, maybe next time someone will be like, oh, there's some garbage. Maybe I should pick it up. Or some freaking goofy-ass chick is going to make some scene. People don't know how to act, man. They just know how to act like they're told to act. Is what I've come to find out. But anyway, I think I've been running my mouth long enough. Has it been 30 minutes? Yeah, I'm past the 30-minute mark. Mom, I got these little lemon cupcakes, and Mom about face palm. You like it, Mom? Yeah, great, Marge. Because I get those little ones. I think she's used to those. Those ones that they're like 2-bite ones, you know. And I just kind of shove the whole thing in. It kind of surprises her, and it's a tasty little treat. Well, these are actually full size. I personally don't like them.
You don't like them?
No, I don't think they're very good. I think there's too much frosting. I think if they would have the frosting, it would have been better.
Oh.
It's like diabetes waiting to happen. So tomorrow I'm supposed to head back into town and I think I'm gonna make some. I've been telling Og, I'm like, I don't understand why people don't have me do that for them. Like, there's so many people around here that grow their own cannabis, and then all they got to do is take the trim. Give me the trim. I'll make you cookies and give them back to you. You know what I mean? Just to help the day go by, and people don't, you know, yet they like them so much. But I've been looking at it, like, I can get a license to sell edibles. I think it's like $2,500 or $2,000, and then it's
Oh,
$1,000 every year after that.
wow.
But if I sell my cookies for $10 a piece, which I could easily sell my cookies, I was buying the ones in Oregon that weren't near as good, and spending $10 on those.
That's
So I could easily sell mine for 10. You know, just bake cookies all day and then drop them off at dispensaries around town. And then I wonder if my dispensaries would also sell my I'm going to try and sell these again. This is I came up with this when I was like 8, 9. Straight people like rainbows too. So, figure if I could just like get people, you know, because there's tourists around here everywhere. There's tourists all over the place. So I always have all these ideas. It's just never right. It's never the right divine timing. It's never the right time. And then I shelve it, and then it's like, all right, try again later. Come up with some more ideas. Those get shot down. Just keep trying, man. Just keep trying. You know, but you got to get past people's egos. That's where I'm like, okay, I know God does freaking mysterious, marvelous, magical things. So it's like, how are you going to get past so many people's egos? Like, all of these people are just going to be like, you know what? There's people out there in this world that can do this job way better than me. So I'm just going to go ahead and freaking, you know, give up this cush life so somebody more qualified can come in. Is that what's going to happen? Whatever. Anyway. The story will continue to unfold, huh, Ma? Back to go and watch the Golden Palace?
Yeah.
Oh, and Earth Angel, if you're listening right now, I was going to send you a message earlier. On Hulu, Nip Tuck, all 6 seasons is on Nip Tuck. I looked that up a little while ago, and yes, it is on the Hulu, all 6 seasons of Nip Tuck. All right.